In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast.
Well, I'm ready to drink.
Yeah?
Yep.
I said I wasn't going to drink for at least a week, and I already poured a cocktail.
Yeah, I'm surprised I just poured that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think it's
I've had too many options for the last fucking 5 days. And
I think
I'm
we
like,
all just kind of got the shakes and we just need something to
God,
calm
no,
it
I was
down.
fine. I was totally fine. I stopped drinking. So Jazz got married over the weekend.
Yeah, he did.
For everyone that's kind of like, what are you guys talking about?
Jazz had a wedding
I had a
over the
wedding.
weekend.
I had a wedding.
He'd already been married.
Yeah. And he got married Saturday. I stopped drinking about an hour after his actual ceremony.
Yeah, that's about when I did too.
And then
Couple shots because we were hitting off your little
that
ball
doesn't count.
now and then. But
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
That was E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
It was
It was
small
fucking-
batch. It was awesome. Every once in a while, John would just walk up to me and hold out this little thing. That,
I got like
it was
little,
like a flask
glass,
full of E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, and it like clipped onto my little belt thing. And so I filled it up, and you're not supposed to bring in outside booze into rent fair.
Right.
And so I filled it for the wedding, or for the ceremony, excuse me, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so as I was walking in,
you were right with wedding.
yeah, as I was walking in, I saw that they were like kind of half inspecting everyone. And so I slid it over to my side, and I had like the shirt I had like a flap on the front, a flap on the back.
Right.
And I like tucked it underneath the flap and just went right through. They didn't fucking say anything.
Yeah. Well, like the guy that was checking everybody, and he was like because if you brought in like weapons and stuff, he was like zip tying them, all this stuff. Like Steve had to get his zip tied.
The funny thing is that right. So they zip tied his axe to his belt because he didn't have it in like a hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, if you have it in a
A scabbard.
if the weapon is in a scabbard or is like properly secured, they don't piece tie it.
Yeah.
So like you and I both had huge fucking knives on our belts, but they were in sheaths where the leather goes around and like clips it in place. So you can't just walk up and just pull it. Like you have to unbutton it and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, his was just like slipped in his belt. So they piece tied him and we made it 100 feet into the fair.
Clip.
And he cut it off because he needed to buy a belt hanger. And so, but those glass ball things, the reason everybody's able to get away with them is there's so many people that they buy them and then they fill them with like brown and blue and like green liquid, like it's some sort of potion, like it's part of their
I
outfit.
filled mine with brown liquid.
And so, right. And so they just, they see him so much that they're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Or
they don't have the time to check every single person that's walking in there with some little glass ball.
You know what I appreciate, and I noticed this. I noticed this Saturday night when we were at Call of Booty, and we're all hanging around, and like AJ would walk up, or like that other dude Richard, who's the listener, would walk up, and I'd see these people that I knew, and I'd just immediately I'd unclip it and I'd undo the cork, and I wouldn't say anything besides E.H. Taylor. And they didn't even fucking say anything else. They grabbed it, they took a sip, and handed it back.
No, you know the only reason he was willing to do that? He had met you.
No, I get it. I'm not handing it to random people. These are people I know. But not a single person, like even like they didn't wipe the top. They didn't fucking do anything. Every single person grabbed it, took a sip, handed it back. And I would literally just take it back from him, be like, E.H. Taylor. And the other guy would be like, oh, sure. He'd take it. He'd take a sip, hand it back.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I appreciate the fact that COVID was like a few years ago and everybody forgot.
Well,
It's booze, man.
because COVID was like, in the grand scheme of things, right? A short period of time.
But it was intense.
I hope we all forget that.
It was very intense.
Yeah, so was smallpox.
Yeah, but now that you've been to Ren Fair and kind of seen those people, which I'm one of them, so whatever. Does it overly shock you that if you just if you kind of know the person and you're like booze and they just go yep,
I
and
mean,
just like
I bet you could replace E.H. Taylor with Rufinol, and
nobody
you get
would
the same
care.
reaction.
Nobody would care. I had one person ask, like, is it just E.H. Taylor? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a douchebag. And they're like, oh, okay. One thing I did find really, really interesting about the campground itself is every once in a while they had these little signs, right? And it said, no running. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No running.
Yeah. And so I asked somebody about it. I'm like, what do you mean no running? They're like, yeah, you can't run here. You can only ran. Do you know why?
It's always past
It's always
tense.
past tense. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Ew. Welcome to the Freedom Friends podcast, brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code FTFO, screw some of that sweet 15% off.
Yeah.
Wellness.us. Go over there, use Freedom Friends 25. It'll get you a quarter off your order there. Icy Tech coolers for those who got it. Go to icytech.com. Use Freedom Friends 10. Get you 10% off. And check out our affiliate link with Grill Your Ass Off. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends podcast. Let's get to the shit show.
Let's do it. Sunday morning, Mal and I are walking into the fair.
Yeah.
And we're walking next to the fucking fence from the campground.
Mhm.
And I tell her you can't run in the campground. And I fucking got her. And I hit her with the punchline. And she's like, I fucking hate you. I was like, yes.
It's a solid one. It's a solid joke.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
Jazz got somebody fucking good Friday night or Saturday night. I think it was Friday night. We were sitting at the campfire and you said it. We were sitting at the campsite and you said it.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Kibby's girl was sitting there and a couple of other folks. And you said it. And I saw it coming and I was like, wait for it. And I'm looking at all their faces. And then you hit them with it and they all just went. It was just like, oh, fuck.
I got Jazz on Sunday. I was really proud of it.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
I was really proud of it.
What'd you do?
We were walking back. We just got done loading something somewhere. I don't fucking know. It was a shit show on packing everything up. And Jazz had like...
we were taking the flags down.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. And we were walking back. And Jazz stops and takes one of his little shoes off. He's like, fuck, I got something on my shoe. I was like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah. What the fuck? I'm like, it's your foot. And he stops for a second. He looks at me. He's like, fuck you.
Oh, man.
And then I got him back by proxy because Mal said something.
Yeah, I
don't
remember what you said.
I was like right on it.
Yeah. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Because it wasn't 45 seconds later. Like it was an immediate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. It was
What a
fun.
weekend.
It was fun.
Really appreciate all you guys being there.
Yeah, dude.
Even you, Scott. Still appreciate you.
To touch on...
I was there. I tried.
Scott went to one of your weddings.
Yeah.
It's true.
To touch
Yeah.
on this weekend,
Me and
Mike-
John are the only ones that have been to
To
both.
all of them.
We've been to both of your weddings.
I've been to all of them.
Well,
You guys-
you've been to the marriage and the wedding.
None
Yeah.
of you have been to my weddings. So.
No.
That's true.
I do have something that I want to talk about on a slightly serious note. And Mikey, you can attest to this, and Scott, you can also. And I already had this conversation with Jazz before.
Okay.
We even left the fair. One thing that I really appreciate about our friend group and this weekend and the wedding and everything is so during the ceremony, when Justin, who's the best man, was saying his speech, he kind of teared up a little bit. Right. And then at Justin's wedding, when Jazz, that was his best man,
Right.
said a speech, he kind of teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it because I was just really sweating, and sweating was coming out of my eyes at Jazz's wedding. It was weird. It was hot, really humid.
It was hot.
But it made me realize something. So I've known Jazz and Justin long enough where when I met them, I didn't really know what they were doing for work. I didn't know if they had careers or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I watched the progression going from when they had a photography business to both of them having big boy jobs to now Jazz being a business owner. Justin works for us. Justin is married. He has a house. Jazz and Caitlin have a house. They're married. They're just very successful. You know what I mean? Like I've watched this progression over the years of knowing you guys and then seeing just the absolute love at the ceremonies and the growth that everything's been through. Like it meant a lot.
That was
That's
pretty
all.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was this big sappy speech or he was getting really sentimental or anything like that. It was just straight from the fucking heart.
Dude, I had to throttle your dad back because your dad went up and I was like, you're just going to make it worse, man. I was like, get out of there. What are you doing?
You tried to console it like others.
I was like, you're going to make it worse dude, if you get in the middle of that sandwich. Like, what are you doing?
No, and I'm right there with John on it. And all of this stuff, all of the, especially Jesus, just in this circle, it like from the time that all of us have met, because the timing, like we all became friends within like literally weeks of like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in a
It was a
matter of
couple
6
of-
months.
So
It was a matter
John,
of 6
John was
months.
down here before me.
Right.
And so as soon as I came down, if you're friends with John, you're automatically friends with me.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Right, but
And so
you
that,
and I met
know,
John within like weeks of each other.
You did.
We met
Really
him
close.
downtown, and
I
then,
met you at our soft opening at the
and then
old
you
shop.
had an event
Yeah.
downtown.
No,
and
I
he
went
was,
to the Hero Sports.
right,
And
and you were
and
there.
that's,
That's
where
where
we
I met
met.
you.
Yeah, and you and I didn't even know each other yet because
No.
we didn't meet until the photo shoot,
Till the commercial shoot
like a
at-
year later.
at Grunt Style. So John and I were already friends.
Yeah.
And then you and Mikey knew each other because I was hanging out at the shop. And then you came down like 6 months later. And like you said, I was friends with John. So by default, I became
Right.
friends with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And then Warfighter was, it was making moves and trucking along, but it's not my business to share it out there. But I knew where you guys were because you had been
Right.
very honest with me about where the company was and why moves were happening and all that kind of stuff. And so, and I know where you were at the time when we met and when you met them and stuff like that. And if you look at
what was I?
nothing,
What do
Yeah,
fuck
you were,
all?
you were just a shitbag then.
yeah, you were
I was in
nothing.
school. I was in
You were
class.
finishing up
Oh,
school.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
you were
going.
in law
I was
school.
going to school.
You were finishing up school and stuff like
you
that.
were bitching that you worked full time for a company that had
That
hired
wasn't
you
paying
yet.
you.
No, that wasn't even then.
That wasn't even
Oh
happening.
yeah.
That was way before that.
It was right before that.
Yep.
It was a couple months before that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But just looking at like where our friend group was
Where we are today.
and where we are, it's. I
I'm
have
glad,
to
'cause
say,
if it went the other way, fuck all of you.
yeah,
Fucking
fucking all the
A.
shitbag friends that fucking ruined my life. No, I have to say I'm with John on this. Like, I really appreciate that that you guys have. It's been a constant. It's been like a. And honestly, everything like for all of us, it's all
Yeah.
been getting better and better and better and better.
It's a progression. Mikey, tell me right now, you're in a worse off spot than you were when you met all of us.
Well, no, you guys have made my life better.
No,
I
just-
believe that.
But no, everything else in your life. Because I remember where you were beforehand.
Sure.
But we
Even-
also know where Haley was too. Like,
Yeah.
but
Even
look at
right
like
now.
Haley's career and like everything.
Yeah,
like
dude,
everything
Haley's
over the
career.
last several years has just
Right.
been.
Well, she didn't have one then. She had nothing then, and it was just me. And she was going to school. I was going to school. I wouldn't say we were struggling because we had my retirement bills were paid, but it was rough. You know, it was paycheck to paycheck for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and like you know,
But you didn't have a one wheel then.
I didn't have a one wheel. That's true. That's very true. I didn't have a one wheel. I wasn't a skydiver. Then. I was.
Your fence was still broke though.
My fence was. I think it was just breaking. It was just breaking. We actually had a conversation about that this morning. Thanks for reminding me.
Here,
I gotta,
everybody.
I gotta
The
make a
fence-
call.
The fence is another constant.
Kibby was here for like a week and a half. You didn't call him?
Dude, I fucking told him, and he was like, but. And I was like, no, you're full of shit, Kibby.
But no, it's John's absolutely right. It's been great having like a crew that's so
You know,
kind of
Julie,
with you regardless of where you're at. So
Julie said it really good Friday night when we were all sitting around. And Julie is Big Jim's wife. And she was like, my favorite thing about our crew is that everybody has a significant other that is their best friend. And because we all get along so well, we also all get along well with our significant others.
That's true.
So
fuck,
it
some
just-
of our
it-
significant
so it-
others are best friends with each other.
Yeah. And fucking, yeah. And some of them like the other one more than fucking everybody. Like, shit, dude, it's true. It's very true. But she's like, I love the fact that we have this core group of individuals that we all just love and trust. And like, we're all best friends, but at the same time, we're best friends with our partners as well, right? With our individual spouses or girlfriends or whatever. And she's like, and that's so fucking hard to find, man. Like,
it's rare.
You know, it's weird too, because like I consider myself friends with, like I'm friends with Julie.
yeah,
And my friendship with Julie is different than my friendship with Jim a little bit.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
And you
Absolutely.
know, so
A
like
little bit.
when you're friends with the spouse as well as, you know what I mean? Like that's fun.
Dude, that's
right?
my fucking road dog right
Right?
there. Shit. Are you kidding me? He might be my best friend, but that's my homie, dude.
I'm
Like,
still convinced that our wives have a stronger relationship than I have with my wife or you have with yours. Like that shit
That's
is
probably true.
That shit is dangerous.
Well, dude, Haley just appreciates Caitlin so much, man.
Yeah.
And she said it during her speech, and it was funny because she did not prepare anything. That came off the fucking cuff,
Mhm.
right? But she had talked about it before when Caitlin first told her that she was going to be your maid of honor. And she was like, you know what I love about Caitlin is I don't have to pretend to be anything but me.
Right.
She's like, and Caitlin doesn't give a shit. She goes, I can hang out with Caitlin and I'm not socially drained. Whereas a lot of people, and like, fuck, dude, even us, like if we all four hung out every day for a while, we'd be like, I need a break. You know what I mean?
It just happened with, unfortunately, Scotty couldn't be there. Not that we don't get it, but you couldn't be there. But we were literally all stuck in a campground together for the better part of 5 days.
In 2 days, we were underwater.
2 days we were underwater. But you know what?
I avoided that.
But there wasn't a single time with having like my people there or whatever that I was just like, I'm just going to go hide in my tent. Like I just don't need to be like around. And it was that I think
it's so valuable.
But and not just in this, we're not talking about with one person. The fact that we have that availability with, our circle's decently big.
Yeah, but it's big boy rules, right?
Yep.
Perfect example is this weekend. You invited all of us out there for your wedding, right? We all came and showed up. You weren't a ringleader of a group of 50 people that followed you for 4 days. Everybody did whatever they wanted to do, except for the things that it was like, hey, at this day and this time, we're doing this.
There is an hour and a half where you have to be in this spot.
Outside of that is, hey, we're going here if anybody wants to go. If not, we'll meet you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to go walk around like Sunday. Hey, I'll let you know when we're going into Ren. We'll meet up with you guys and walk around. You called when you got back to camp. Right. We didn't call you at all. You guys did your thing. We did our thing. You guys were like, hey, we're back at camp. Do you mind if I kill all the generators? And I'm like, I'll be there in 3 minutes to start breaking down. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because
the group activities where
I can't fucking do it.
They wear people down.
I can't.
Like when we go to Vegas for a show.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it's like everybody goes to the meal. Everybody does this. Everybody does that. Right? Like I don't like it. I know Michelle, it wears her down.
Now it did get to a point at camp where I wouldn't even call it an issue. The only thing that came up was one night Jazz walked up to me and he goes, hey, what do you got for meat? Everyone's asking what's for dinner. Yeah. And I was like, well, I was kind of under the impression that everybody brings their own shit. You bring a little bit extra for a couple more people.
And I did say, that's the information I put out.
I was like, okay. Because I don't have enough to feed 30 people.
Yeah. And Jazz told me he was because this was Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And Jazz was like, I was like, yeah, people are asking about dinner. And I was never in that because I wasn't staying there Friday night, right? So I was like neutral party, right? And Jazz was like, well, the problem was that we made a fucking feast for everybody the night before.
I'm blaming it on Caitlin. It's her fault. Because she cooked dinner one night and then she cooked breakfast the next morning.
Yeah, and then people started defaulting to like Caitlin's feeding everybody.
Okay, cool. What's next?
And then
it was good food.
And then I did fajitas for lunch. But the problem at that point is that we brought enough to feed probably 5 or 6 people for 4 days.
Yeah, but also
but then we burnt it all in like 3 meals.
What was the first meal that was cooked?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Okay, so you can't kick off camping with spaghetti bolognese and then expect people to be like, oh yeah, I'll just make a sandwich.
Yeah, hot dog.
I'm good with vendor food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dope. I don't know. That barbecue joint was good as shit.
Yeah, the trucks are good.
Justin's sausage roll Friday night fucking saved my life. Shit. Delicious.
We had brought a bunch of sausages and Abby looked at me and was like, I'm hungry. I was like, I'm on it. And so I whipped up those made for me and her and then just walked around camp and was like, you want sausage? Sausage is over there.
Yep.
Just whatever we had left, just went out to everybody else.
I wonder how many times that line was given out at that campground.
You want sausage?
You want some sausage?
Right over there.
You want some sausage?
Come this way.
Have some sausage.
Yeah, I got sausage in my tent if you want some.
You want some sausage? Yeah, man. I will say, Ren Fair is a good time. If you've never been to a Ren Fair, I highly encourage you. Just go check it out, man. People watching is amazing.
I'm going to caveat on that.
And dress up. Get into it, man. Because it does make it fun.
Okay.
Camping
is a different fucking beast.
Yeah.
Ren Fair, like walking around Ren Fair was like, okay, this is cool. Like we went and saw some of like the shows that they do in the center, like not the jousting, but they did like the
they're like comedy acts and music shows.
No, the combat thing where like the sword fights.
Oh, the real steel?
Yeah, the real steel fights, right? We went and watched that. It's like fucking WWE with metal.
Sure.
Like maybe it was just these dudes. Like I was expecting like full combat, like
so
you see on the internet videos, you know, like these dudes are fucking each other.
It
up.
depends on the show time. So the one that's in the evening, they bring out like the A-listers.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one where like we saw that. Well, I was telling you about that, like 300 pound. He's like
the mountain
Leon's height, but bigger than Leon if you can process that. And that dude was out there.
He got rung by a fucking mace.
Swinging, and this dude that's maybe a little taller than me, like duck his swing and took his mace around and caught that dude right in the side of the helmet. And the whole arena, it was like a church bell just got rung. Like it was like bong. And you'd see this dude just go. And when that big fucker took a knee, everybody just stopped. And it was like, and like all the fighters backed up and
like
the
that would
EMTs
kill
had
the
to come out.
regular
And it was
person.
like, holy shit.
He's lucky it happened to a giant and not a regular person. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, but you know, a lot of it is WWE style where it's like, hey, I'm going to do this, you do that, But
I'm going to ring you in the side of the head.
I'm going to fucking destroy you real quick.
Speaking of TBIs, I was really excited about our last debate that we did.
Yeah.
Right. Really excited about it. And for some reason,
All doors are flaps.
I couldn't remember.
But not all flaps are doors.
For the life of me, I could not remember that Mike Jones and Kibbe were in the audience. So every single time this past weekend that they would say a reference to it, I'm like, oh, bro, did you watch that yet? And he's like, dude, you've asked me that like 3 times. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, but how do you know it? He's like, I was there. I'm like, God damn it.
How fucking drunk were you?
I wasn't.
No, it's not. It wasn't that. It was.
How high were you at the time?
I wasn't.
Because if y'all were anything like that conversation like I was, I completely forgot anybody else was here.
I did too.
Because there was like 5 people over here. And all
I had
of us,
no idea who they were.
But it was all weekend. I heard all of us at least once because there was some other people that listened to the show that were there that we were like, did you listen to it yet? Did you hear it yet? Did you listen to it yet?
Yeah.
Which has higher reviews, the religion one or the wheels versus doors?
So the religion one, we got a bunch of good feedback. Like a bunch of people were like, hey, like this was like a breath of fresh air hearing this type of conversation without like screaming, which I feel like they were in for a surprise on the debate because it was the complete opposite.
We held it as long as we could.
But it was pent up religion. That's what it was.
I will say for the debate on the poll on Spotify, it is 49% for wheels, 51% for doors.
Wow.
Yeah. There's still 10 hours left, so we might have a little bit of a split.
Country divided.
I'm just glad. I'm sticking with my guns. It's doors.
I'm sticking with my wheels. It's guns.
It's guns?
In this country?
I'm sticking my wheel. It's guns.
I mean, that's the fucking question. Are there more guns or doors in the United States?
Doors.
No, doors for sure.
Yeah.
Now, are there more rounds of ammunition?
Oh, I think I'd give it rounds of
Yeah, I would too.
I might say rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you right now, if we count how many doors, including cabinets and everything in my house, and then count how many rounds of ammunition are in that house.
I have vastly more rounds.
I'm short on doors.
Yeah. I think I need to build some doors.
Is a dust cover in an AR considered a door?
Flap.
Which is a door.
Nope.
No.
But it's hinged.
All doors are flaps. Not all flaps are doors.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard
And
it
that's an
referenced
exit
as
only door.
I've heard it referenced as an ejection port
Yes.
door.
If it's an
Before.
entry door, it's how you get a double feed.
Yes. But the military and the way it calls things are.
Well, this wasn't military. No, it's an ejection port cover. And
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've heard somebody reference it as an ejection port door before.
The proper term is brass flap.
That's what. Yeah.
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 And God damn it, that's it. I'm calling it right now.
Smith and Wessons don't even come with the motherfucker. Like, they're
Well,
not-
Some of the cheap
We
ones.
decided, you decided on the last debate that if it was on the internet, it has to be true.
Yes, I've seen both answers now.
But this show is on the internet,
Oh, it's gotta be true.
and I am now calling that dust cover. Its actual name is brass flap.
Brass flap.
That's it.
Nice.
So who in the military writes the TMs? We need to.
I don't know, but
you need to edit your NSN for brass flap.
I can't. I can't sign off on somebody's OER bullet, so that'll never get changed.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
And we got friends in Natick. I think that they control a lot of what that shit gets called.
Dude, did you see the guy, the hockey player that got his jugular cut by the fucking dude's skate yet?
I didn't see.
Holy
but I heard
fuck,
about it.
dude. It looks I don't know if it was intentional. It looks pretty fucking
what
intentional.
What I heard about is that he intentionally stepped. And I don't know if it's true or not. Because like I said, it was just like a headline as I was scrolling through.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking died. And he used to play for Pittsburgh. Like he was in, I think he was in, at this point, he's playing in a European team, in a European league. And I saw the video this morning. It was pretty fucked up, dude. Yeah. Adam Johnson.
Wow.
Yeah. It was fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Like straight up. And like
28 seconds right there.
You want to talk about fucking like blood splatter on ice?
Well, let's see it.
Yeah,
here it comes.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Like, do. Oh, it's cut off. Yeah, go to Twitter, man. I saw it on Twitter. You can absolutely see it.
I don't think we can.
He didn't intentionally step his whole back leg like scorpioned around. So either Bruce Lee is currently playing hockey,
I don't even
or
see
that
where
was
this
an
is
accident.
So,
Look, right?
This dude is fucking known.
No, nobody stepped.
Nobody stepped.
Oh,
that
right
came
there.
around his back on the contact.
Like,
I didn't even
That was
see
an
any
accident.
blood.
yeah, that's not a good. It's not a
Problem
very
is,
good
is you
one.
phrase it that is after neck slash. That sounds intentional, but look at this body position right there. He gets checked and literally goes horizontal and catches him in the neck. That is not intentional at all.
Like you'll see the blood.
Oh,
now.
Jesus.
But there's no step.
Oh, Jesus.
Like that's fucking gnarly, right?
No,
Like,
don't pull that up, Justin.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
it's fucking wild.
That's the worst
bro.
nightmare when you play hockey.
But you'll see the
Straight
the
up.
body position.
Oh my goodness.
Leading like up until you get into like high school hockey,
Yeah.
it's almost
Watch
a
the
requirement
trail.
to wear a neck protector.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen just because the players aren't aware
Oh my
at that
goodness.
point. Once you get into high school level or higher
And
hockey,
he's skating off, not knowing he's dead.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
he got up
But
to
there
just
was-
be like, oh fuck, I gotta suck this up. And
No,
then
there
just
was no
fucking-
step. There was no nothing. That dude was still on his
Yeah,
feet
that
when
was-
it happened.
okay.
But that guy was horizontal.
Wow.
God, that trail of blood, like
No.
holy fuck.
Yeah, don't pull that up.
Yeah, I want to see the footage of the Zamboni hitting that because
That's how they paint the center line.
it's supposed to make the grass grow, not the ice
Yeah.
melting.
So, I guess something I do want to talk about on this that has to do with real world issues.
Let's do it.
Matthew Perry.
R.I.P. dude.
No, not that.
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't at all.
R.I.P. to another drunkard.
So Israel.
Okay.
Okay. The UN did a vote about Israel's involvement in the conflict. And there was something like 120 nations said that Israel needs to sign a ceasefire. And 13 nations said, no, Israel needs to defend themselves out of the UN.
How many was for the ceasefire?
13.
Versus,
No, excuse me. 120.
Wow.
And there were 13 that said, no, Israel has a right to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Where was America on that?
they were part of the no.
They're part of the number 13.
Yes.
Well, then fuck you, everybody else.
Well, so what this leads me to believe, and you got to look at all the protests that are happening in the United States. That I don't think the protesters truly understand what they're supporting when they're attempting a protest for a free Palestine.
Well, especially when it's like LGBTQ people for Palestine.
Well, no,
it's like,
but I don't think they understand.
You know they'll
that-
murder you,
that
right?
their governing body in that area is a terrorist organization,
Right.
And so you're essentially saying, okay, everything needs to stop. The war needs to stop. Israel needs to stop defending themselves. And we need to go back to business as usual, where Hamas is still in charge of Palestine.
You know what would be great is if the Palestinian people picked up rifles and shot the fuck out of all the Hamas fucking leadership. Because you know what? You put your HQ under the main hospital in your city, you're not a good person.
But you can say the same thing about Afghanistan. If the people of Afghanistan would pick up a rifle against ISIS or Al Qaeda, whoever the fuck is running their country today,
Taliban now, but yeah,
you know what I mean. But do they? Have they ever?
No.
You know what I mean?
Small, tiny little sects that get stamped out real quick.
But as a country, if they ever came together as a country, be like, you know, we're tired of this shit. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like if somebody tried to do it in the U.S., which they have, the entire country came together back in 1775.
It's been a long time.
It's
been a long time. Let's do it again.
Yeah, fucking do.
76? 73? I think it started in 73, actually, yeah. But 75 was when they were really like, oh, you go fuck yourself.
That was when George Washington crossed the Potomac, right?
That was. Nobody fucking caught except for you.
I know.
Well, yeah.
But no, like, so one of the things that I find quite interesting is there was a demonstration, I'll call it that, at Cornell University in New York, right? The majority of graduates from Cornell University are fucking Jewish. Like, just because of the populace in that area.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? And they're protesting.
They also have a great accounting department.
Phenomenal. But they're protesting against Israel. Like, when the fuck are people actually going to wake up?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so Justin, put that back on real quick.
John, you're fucking contagious, and the quiet part keeps coming out again.
I'm telling you, this week it was so hard for me. My intrusive thoughts.
Like, right here it says, the U.S. and 13 other countries voted against the truce, while 45 countries voted to abstain Friday, which means they're just like, we're staying out of it. Then 120 countries voted in favor of the humanitarian truce. Okay, so you have 120 countries who are like, yep, I think we need to do a humanitarian truce.
What
happens if they sign it and then Hamas doesn't change shit and still does this?
Yeah. Hamas doesn't have to change. You guys, they're not a country.
Stop. Read the paragraph above it. Humanitarian truce is in quotes. It's not a fucking humanitarian truce.
It's a ceasefire.
It is stop Israel from defending themselves.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Why does the world hate Jews? I don't understand.
People are so worried.
I don't know. I think they're awesome.
People are so worried about the Palestinians that are being displaced, right? The majority of the Palestinians are Muslim, right?
Yeah.
I'm just getting my facts straight.
Yeah.
Every country that surrounds Israel and Gaza is a Muslim-based country.
And they've all closed their borders.
They all said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
We don't want you.
Yeah.
Why are you supporting a group of people that their own people don't even fucking want?
I'm also trying to figure out how the UN voted for a humanitarian truce amongst the Israel-Hamas war. Does that mean that the UN is recognizing Hamas as a nation?
Right.
That's the way that reads to me.
UN is United Nations, not United Loose Assembly of Terrorists.
Israel isn't at war with the Palestinians.
Why? Okay, I had a quick question.
This is what I tell. This would be my message to Israel. Israel needs to say this to the UN. Okay, you want us to stop? Sanction us. Grab your army and sanction us. Oh, you don't have an army? Oh, because the U.S. is on our side this time? Go fuck yourself.
You know what Israel needs to tell everyone?
Mind your business.
My mama told me to tell you to mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch.
Mind your business, bitch.
So I had a quick question. Why did in the Israel-Hamas war, why did they put Israel first?
Because they're the ones that are going to win.
Yes.
It's just like the U.S.-Iraq war, the U.S.-Afghanistan.
Right.
Yeah. Is that why it was called the Vietnam War?
Yep. Probably.
I'm going to have to go look at the 120 countries that voted in favor. And I would like to see.
Scroll down.
He doesn't have it. I would like to see the crude oil reliance on that area of the world on the 120 that.
So I know somebody that is running for mayor.
Jazz just did what we should all do. When you have a question, follow the money.
I know somebody that is running for mayor for a city in California. That is a pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, very vocal about it on social media. Do you think they'll get elected in California?
No.
You sure?
Probably.
I'm leaning more towards yes.
Yeah, in California, I think they will. Speaking of California, why the fuck is Newsom in China? Isn't that like a violation of a law that was signed into law back in like John Adams' days?
Maybe they're letting him violate so that when he comes back, they can fuck him. I mean,
maybe, but he's over there fucking doing foreign policy. And there's a law in the books. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's like Turner's Law or something like that. I'm sure I'm wrong on that, but
that's the one that you can't speak to a foreign government unless you are an authorized
foreign agent.
Yeah,
no, an authorized form of communication for the United States government.
Yeah. And it's part of an espionage act.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's a serious fucking law.
And Governor Newsom from California is in China with Xi Jinping right now. Fucking just
you have to be an authorized representative of the United States in order to have communication with a foreign government.
If you're in government, because if I get invited to China,
you can't speak on behalf of the U.S.
You
to a foreign entity unless you're
policy
unless you're an authorized. There we go.
And he's over there trying to broker policy. And it's like you're in violation of a law.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see here.
So all the green voted in favor of a ceasefire. What the fuck? Switzerland voted? Fuck you, Switzerland.
Do you know how much money is currently being held in Switzerland?
No, but you're supposed to be fucking neutral.
Yeah, but do you know how much money is currently being held in Switzerland by?
No, Switzerland abstained.
No, they didn't.
Oh, that's Sweden. Sorry.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Sweden.
No. Sorry.
I mean, most of these don't shock me.
Papua New Guinea and Paraguay were on our team. Guatemala, Croatia, Chechnya.
Is anybody shocked that Somalia doesn't want that part of the world? Doesn't want.
Yeah.
Doesn't want an increased Israeli control in that part of the world.
Iraq abstained. That's kind of funny.
Djibouti was for it. That doesn't surprise me.
You know what I fucking love though? What I really love is there's 120 countries in favor of it, and there are 14 countries against it. And Israel's like, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Good.
You know what I mean?
I look at these countries that are for it. Is that who we have as like true allies at this point?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that's like
against it are the true allies?
Okay, but you look at those countries.
Yeah,
Australia,
Tonga,
Croatia, Chechnya.
You know what? What we're talking about right now is the same conversation I had at Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. If I take Jazz and Mikey, Big Jim, Leon, and a handful of other dudes that we had, I guarantee you we could take over that entire campground.
Yeah. What is the one on the
those
bottom?
14 nations right there, if they really fucking wanted to, and you put the fucking gloves off and no holds barred, those 14 countries could probably take over everybody else. I'm not going to lie.
I'm very curious about Nauru. The one on the bottom.
Nauru.
Okay. Never even heard of that country in my life.
Let me ask my friend Google. I'm betting, any bets?
On
where it's at.
South America.
Indian Ocean island country.
Yeah, right.
Country in Oceania.
Yeah.
So it's an island?
It's an island country.
The island nation, yeah.
It's off the coast of Papua New Guinea.
They also understand, who also had our back on this one, but they also island nations understand the fucking vulnerability and that you need to defend yourself.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. And island nations will often fucking be like, Micronesia, the Marshall Islands. Imagine that,
We got to think all the countries that voted against.
Chechnya, the fact that the Czechs were like on our team on this is kind of surprising.
Well, you got to think though, the people that voted against it are also people that have had their country tried to be taken over by somebody else, or have been split or moved or whatever.
It's like Afghanistan didn't want to fucking do it. Well, no shit, because the Taliban's sitting at the fucking table, man. Right? Fucking idiot.
That's what I mean. Is if you look at a lot of these countries and you go like, yep. Like anything from South America.
Yeah.
They can't lose business ties with what's going on in that part of the world.
Yeah.
But they shut down. They have no local production.
Yeah.
Except for Brazil. Brazil actually produces a
Guatemala, though.
Brazil is a lot of meat.
It is a lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
They have a huge automotive industry there, too. They make a fuck ton of cars.
I'm a big fan of their steakhouses.
It's just the red green, baby.
And their waxes.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, it's...
Brazil had it going on before anybody.
They fucking knew, man. They knew.
I get it.
Best wax in the world. Yeah, it's yeah, I think Israel needs to keep doing exactly what the fuck they're doing. And who cares what the fuck the UN said? We think you should do a ceasefire. Yeah,
why would there be a ceasefire?
Well, it's funny. Like,
it makes timing wise, it makes no sense.
You listen to the news, and they're more worried about Israel's political and what's the other word they used for it? Viewpoint on how they're acting, like on their reaction level to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they need to do damage control, and they need to make sure that
they are
blah blah blah.
They are.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know what? Honestly, you know what they fucking need to do? They need to fucking say whatever they're going to say in public, and then fucking take the gloves off for all their boys.
Well, that's the problem.
Go fucking have
I don't
fun.
think they do.
They said for the first time in a long time, we're taking the gloves off.
Yeah.
And we are going to go fuck you up.
And that's the thing is that
now everybody's afraid.
when you
it fucking needs to happen.
This is a new situation.
Like they didn't start this.
No. But this is a new situation, especially in our country, where it is all being looked at from a PR standpoint.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you this, but if your country's being invaded, you're not really worried about the PR.
You have a right to defend yourself.
And so the one that cracks me up is the argument against a free Palestine, or for a free Palestine, is anti-colonialism. And it's like, okay, let's take a step back and let's look at the establishment of new and relative terms, but the establishment of the new state of Israel.
Right.
That's how we kind of have to view it, right? Because it's not an original idea.
Yeah.
Been around for a while.
It just
a year or two.
This is kind of 2.0. No, Israel existed, and then it kind of didn't, and then now it does.
Well, that's how conquering.
But why didn't it exist? Colonialism. So the establishment of the new state of Israel is actually the largest successful move for anti-colonialism in history.
Right.
Getting rid of it is actually the establishment and reinforcement of colonialism because, they were there second. That's the argument. Is it's like, well, they were there second because the country was in turmoil and they could just take it. It's like, but now not so much. And they got the right friends. And
yeah, but also you got to remember, Israel gave the Gaza Strip back. They gave that back. Like
they don't want to fight. I've quoted that on the show before.
They're not looking for a fight.
About the whole peaceful people are only peaceful, or a peaceful man is only peaceful because he understands violence.
Yeah.
You want to know why Israel is so cool with all of the peace talks and signings and stuff that they've done so far? They fucking get it.
Yeah. They are surrounded on all fronts.
I have had the chance to talk
cultures that want to murder them.
I have had the chance to talk with IDF members and stuff. We all have a mutual friend that was an IDF guy.
Yeah,
but I've talked to him.
He's been on the show.
I've talked to them.
I have family members.
I've talked to them outside of this. You want to talk about capability? There are a couple of American soldiers I have met that are capable, and I mean capable. Not that the American warfighter isn't on its own, even at the lowest level, some of the best in the world. But then there are those amongst us that are, Jesus Christ. Like you look at them and you're like,
well, that's fucking G.I. Joe.
But Jazz, I think it comes down
to... But the bulk of the IDF are those guys. Like they're capable.
I think it comes down to motivation too, right? Like
they don't want to fight.
But we all went to war in another country for shit that our governments... We went to war for each other.
Yes.
That's what we went to war for.
That's what we did, yeah.
But as a military, we went to war for political bullshit.
Sure.
Right?
IDF members don't
but
do
if
that.
you were imagine the United States Army, how much more motivated we would all rejoin if it was an invasion of the United States.
Oh my fucking God.
Right?
No, I would not join.
You're right, because then you can't get committed for war crimes.
I would not. Yeah. You can't charge me with the war crime if I'm not part of an active military.
I am not a uniformed member.
We would be a militia.
Yes.
And we would do very well.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You got to think too with the way the IDF is structured.
But just the motivation.
Yes.
Like what's the saying? Like if somebody who's fighting for a cause is worth 100 people who are fighting for
obligation.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And that's true.
The way the IDF is structured, they're structured drastically different than the United States military for existence.
Yes.
Right. We have everything from guard and reserves. We have active duty. We have top tier units. We have guys that are trained.
We have National Guard top tier units.
But we have guys that train to do a 19th whole bunch
and 20th group
of everything, right? The 19th, 20th group. You got fucking Delta, all your soft units, fucking Navy SEAL, Death Crews, Rangers. Yep. You got all these different detachments that are trained in semi-different things.
Yeah, they have specific missions.
Kind of, right? But you can put a Ranger and a SEAL together, and they're both going to complete the mission, but the SEAL's going to do better in the water. The Ranger's going to do better in land nav.
Oh, I'll argue that.
But they're going to be shoot, move, communicate.
Yeah.
They're fucking on par with each other.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it with pickup units where you have these guys that are like.
But you look at the IDF. The IDF does it way differently. The IDF has a unit that's designed to do this mission. They have another unit that's designed to do, like, these guys take down aircraft. These guys take down massive structures. These guys take down room to room clearing. Everybody's segregated, but they are fucking experts on what they do.
Yeah.
Right. We don't do that. Most countries don't do that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the entire IDF is like that. They have the basic line. They have all that other bullshit too. But if you have to do a vehicle takedown, they call the vehicle takedown unit.
Yeah.
If you have an aircraft takedown, they have an aircraft takedown unit.
Yeah.
Like they have specific units for specific jobs.
It's like SWAT teams. Like SWAT teams are specifically trained
when
for
they're coming in
missions.
to do everything they're doing right now, boots on the ground. They have the regular dudes kicking in doors, doing all that shit, but they come across something, that unit comes in and fucks up their world.
Yeah.
Because
that's
their experts.
Another major difference of why it works for them compared to us is if we had all those very specialized units, they have to go across the world to do it.
These guys got to go down the street.
Right.
They can deploy.
Can you call Jim? I need Jim over here.
QRF is a little different when you can just look out the window and go, "Oh, there?
How big? Okay. How big is Israel?
Huh?
How big is Israel? I think like they can.
Well, you got to think the Gaza Strip houses 2 million people.
Okay, so that's
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Right.
You can deploy a specialized unit anywhere in your country in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
8,500 square miles.
Yeah. I mean, that's nothing, right?
That's nothing.
Yeah.
I hunted in a unit in Colorado that was 600,000 square miles.
Yeah.
And I covered the majority of it in a week.
Yeah.
Can you find out like how many miles across and wide? You know what I mean? Because 8,500 square,
Yeah, it depends on how it's split up.
I'm trying to put that in perspective. Because it's not like Israel's necessarily deploying.
You know what, dude?
I mean, you need to keep in mind that could be 1,000 miles by 800 miles, and you're
.com.
No, 100 miles by 800 miles, and you're there.
I was going to say,
100 miles by 800 miles is
that's nothing.
It's like Texas,
and you can pull Texas.
No, it's 100 miles. That's here to Austin.
Put Texas over.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was 300 miles to Ren Fair.
We get to think 100 miles. 100 miles at 60 miles an hour.
New Jersey.
Is an hour and 40 minutes.
So a helicopter ride for
It's the
30
size of
minutes,
New
you're
Jersey.
anywhere.
Covered the whole thing.
Israel is the size of New Jersey.
Yeah.
There you go. There's
It's not
perspective.
big.
That's not big. So that's how you can. That's why they can structure their military that way.
Yeah.
Because it's defensive, not offensive.
Right. You call in a QRF of one of these special teams and with the helo drop.
Yeah.
You're looking like 25
And you can put a
minutes
special
max.
team on site
Anywhere.
in half an hour.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
The other thing is, man, there's things like the 2-year service and all that kind of stuff. I've had a lot of friends, and I'm sure you've probably had family and stuff like that have gone like, we'll see you in 2 years, and they pack up and they go back home.
My cousin's husband is still part of the IDF.
That's the size of Israel.
And he's on medical leave right now. But it's literally hour by hour.
John wasn't wrong.
On
it's
a
like
recall.
here to Austin.
Yeah. It's hour by hour as a recall for him to come from the States.
There it is.
Back.
So it's San Antonio to Dallas.
Yeah.
It's
And not much wider than
The 35
The
corridor.
35 corridor. That little bulge in the middle is Austin. That's the, and then
you know what it is? It's like any one of us having to go to SeaWorld. So we're just like,
Yeah.
fuck, I hate SeaWorld.
I mean, this would be the
Yeah, I
equivalent.
don't want to drive it, but I'll do it if I need
This
to.
would be the equivalent. Like if we moved that map where San Antonio was sitting in the middle, and I was north, I was in like Georgetown. There you go. So
there
like,
you go. That's about
We're
right.
so
looking-
make Jerusalem San Antonio's position.
We're looking Georgetown to Corpus Christi.
all right. So Justin,
So that would be like I'm in Georgetown, Texas, and I had called John and went, I'm in some shit and I need some help. And John went, okay, I'll be right there. Like that's the equivalent deployment time.
so
Like
do you remember how many square miles Israel was? 8,500?
8,500 square miles.
Texas, right there, it says, is 695,000
1,000.
square miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's kilometers. Square miles is 268,580.
I'm going to break something to you, Mikey, that
Mikey's
kilometers are smaller.
I know, but look, it says total size in
That's why
km
there's
squared.
That's
and then-
why square miles in parentheses matches up to the parentheses.
yeah.
number.
Oh, there's a
The
point.
kilometers are smaller, and that's why there's
I didn't
more
see
of
the
them.
point
Yeah.
there. So it looked like a bigger number. Sorry.
By the way, for those of you that want to call John out, he meant it was 600,000 acres, not 600,000 miles when he was in Colorado.
That's what I said.
No, you said miles.
Oh,
It's okay,
fucking
buddy.
TBI.
I was catching it for you. Don't worry.
TBI.
So calm down, internet. We all knew what he meant. By the way, still bigger than Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like you're like,
It might be close.
and
to
that's
the
why,
equivalent.
and that's why when to put in perspective, that's why when they flew paragliders into a festival and smoked a bunch of people, it was such a big deal to Israel because look at their footprint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
gotta think-
It is. It's like having 3 9/11s happen.
inside
per
of that
capita.
footprint
Like-
is the people that they're fighting with.
Yeah.
They're not outside of it.
Yeah, this isn't a border skirmish. They're inside. Like they're.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
By the way, that funky ass shape, the reason it's got all those like big holes taken out of it,
because Israel,
that's shit they have signed over and just been like, okay,
Yeah.
if it'll stop the fight, here you can have it.
like,
Like,
like that whole West Bank area,
Iraq
They
is
gave that
about
back.
the size of Texas.
Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit. Like if you put Corpus Christi on Basra,
this is, I don't
You
think
know, that gives me hope. That gives me hope. That
Yeah.
means that Texas could very well be independent someday.
have done it before.
yeah,
It started that way.
It's in the contract. Y'all know, no,
it is.
y'all know that about our union contract, right?
Yep.
That we can actually vote to leave, or we can break Texas into 5 separate states in order to increase our senatorial impact.
They already named them too, didn't they?
Mhm.
Aren't like it's in there. That's already like different
But
names.
if we could do it, we put like DFW, Houston, and Austin, just those metropolitan areas where one state.
That's kind of how it's broken up. So like San Antonio, Austin, DFW.
John's
Houston.
saying all that's one state.
Oh,
It
and
is,
then
but
give the rest
everything
of
in
it
the
out.
outskirts of the cities are something else.
Except for,
I will
except
live
for
in
So, like,
something else.
All you fucks can vote the same way, but you're only one state. The 4 other
Yeah.
states that are here, yeah, fuck you.
Perfect.
except for the Texarkana area. Y'all can be your own thing. Fucking
We'll give you back
And the
to
Panhandle.
Kansas.
Panhandle can stay up there. That's fine.
You can go back to Arkansas.
But I don't know, man. I'm with you. I think it's just time.
I
to
just
fucking,
think it's crazy, the
just-
naivety that the majority of the fucking world has. It's
Yeah.
like, do you actually understand what the fuck's going on right
no,
now?
they don't.
Hey, you know what? We probably don't either. It's probably
It's the same.
Somewhere in
I'm
the
going
middle.
back to your statement of which side is the bad side.
yeah. I mean, if you want to break it down to like basically how to figure out who's a good and bad, that's how you do it.
Yeah. I don't know. The propaganda coming out of Palestine right now is fucking ridiculous.
Even
Too. Like their propaganda machine is fucking at full bore, dude. Like they are full of shit. They're sending videos of hostages after Palestine was like no negotiation, and then they're like, hey, in this video, we need you to ask for a negotiation.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, like, fuck you, man. Like,
so we talked about the Micklick on the last podcast, right? Cool piece of equipment.
Right.
So like they were talking about all these fucking underground tunnels and shit, right?
Roll a Micklick down there.
No, so a miniature one.
Yeah.
So you have the fucking little robots, right?
Just drags it.
You drive it in there and it shoots like a AT or a fucking like a
a tow.
Well, yeah, like a tow. Shoots the fucking rocket down the tunnel and it's just little fucking
String
hand
of pearls.
grenades or whatever. Yeah. Right. And it just like, how do you clear a tunnel out?
Just looks like a butt plug.
Well,
like
this
anal beads.
This
Fiery anal beads.
This miniature Micklick shoots a fucking rocket to the end of this tunnel
That's
and
an
it blows up everything.
Dude, that's an amazing
And then
idea.
you turn the corner and you shoot another one.
Dude, you
Halliburton, give us money.
You need to fucking patent that shit right now, dude.
I'm telling you, that's a free one, motherfuckers. Make that, get it to Israel and blow. Because you put your headquarters under a hospital, you deserve to die.
Yeah.
You deserve to die.
Yeah.
Because
you did it on purpose.
Yeah, you did it on purpose. You're
You
fucking,
knew exactly what you were doing.
You're a piece of shit.
Yep.
Are you smart? Yes. Because we're dumb? Yes.
Yeah.
But we're moral. And that's what makes us dumb.
So is it
So we're better than you.
is it the mini lick or the Mick Micro?
The micro lick?
Is it the mini lick
It's a
or the
fucking
Mick
Mick
Micro?
Micro.
It's the Mick Micro,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
It's a
just-
Mick Micro. You could choose your sauce you get with it.
I like micro lick.
I like
yeah,
micro,
micro
lick.
lick.
I like micro lick. Just the tip of the tongue.
But you guys can have that one for free, you big companies. No, not for free. I just want to test fire.
You have to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some residuals.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Free Prince podcast brought to you by Halliburton
All day
for all
long.
of your heavy equipment needs.
We're coming
How
at you
fun
live
would
from
that-
we're coming at you live from our private yacht.
How fucking fun would it be to talk about their next new crazy explosive as a sponsor?
Right?
Coming up next is their 5,000 pound bomb.
One of the coolest podcasts we ever talked about was the fucking Ginsu fucking
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the Ginsu missile.
Hellfire fucking.
I think it was dope, man.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's like the equivalent of the bow and arrow one you shoot at squirrels and birds because you just want to knock them out.
No. Have you seen the turkey one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it just takes the head off.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Fucking amazing. So amazing. Yeah. I showed you that.
Yeah, I think
It's
you might
fucking
have.
great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. One of my favorites. Oh, man.
Yeah. What else is going on in the world?
It's on fire. The whole fucking thing's on fire.
New
man.
Speaker of the House. We want to mention any of that?
Well, nobody cares.
Well, that's
Um,
because
No, I didn't care in the
everybody's-
first place.
everybody's a shit show.
But it's like, what does it matter?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
So have you guys get spam emails, right?
Yeah, way
So
too many.
I got a new one the other day. It was like, you have 48 complaints against your email account.
Yep.
My reply was, make it 49 and go fuck yourself.
Goddamn right.
And ever since I sent that one,
It
it
is
is
blown up.
oh my God, I should not have done it.
Yeah, because that one flagged as it got replied to.
Oh,
so
yeah,
now
I
it's
replied to.
I think about that all the time. Like even with like cold call, like telemarketers that are just fucking full of shit.
Mhm.
And like the longer I drag them out and fuck with them, I'm like, man, I wonder if they have like a Facebook group where they just now my number gets posted in it and they're
Yeah.
like, go fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
They probably do.
Right?
They probably do. I don't know. I do it all the time where I end up
Like
going through and unsubscribing.
the obvious fake ones where you have to go and verify your account. Do you ever go and do that?
Fuck no.
I do. And in every fucking thing I answer, I just talk shit. Like what's your name? Go fuck yourself. What's your last name? Right in the fucking pussy. You know, like I fill out the whole thing and I hit send because I know they get it. Right? It's not none of my
Yeah, they got to go review the information to see if they can steal it.
yeah. So I talk shit. I fill out every fucking line and I send that shit sometimes.
I always,
It hasn't worked for me.
I'll go long enough till I get a real person. Then I'm always like, is your mother proud of what you do?
Right.
Or is it Have you
what I
not
mean?
told them yet?
You know what I made the correlation of the other day? I was talking on the phone with somebody and it clicked in my brain, right? Somebody who knocks on your door trying to sell you something is the equivalent of a cold call.
Yes.
Right? So like,
I treat him the same.
oh, who the fuck? No, because hold on. It made sense. And let me try to remember what the fuck they were selling. Because there was a knock on the door and they were trying to sell it. Oh, I don't know.
Vacuum cleaner.
I have no idea. Whatever the fuck it was, I don't fucking need it.
Right.
If I already need it, I have a smartphone and I have Google.
Yeah.
And I can go fucking find it. I don't need you to come knock on my door trying to sell me it. So I can be like, no, I don't fucking need it. Oh, by the way, you just wasted 15 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go deaf early now because I used up my hearing listening to your bullshit.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they selling?
I got
can't
one the
remember.
other
It's
day. The exhaust system came in for my bike. And I was underneath my bike undoing the fucking stock bolts that hold the old pipe system on it. I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, I see somebody standing at the end of my driveway with like, because the cold call people are not going to do, they wear name badges now. Like that somehow makes them official.
Yeah.
And he's standing there and I'm like, can I help you? He's like, well, I know you're busy, but we do dog grooming. And I was like, are you fucking serious right now? I'm like, do I look like I want to stop what I'm doing and listen to your
Groom
pitch?
my dog.
And he's like, well, we come to you. And I was like,
I come in you.
I was like, and I just went, and I just looked, and I was like, no, you don't.
No,
and
if
I just went back to what I was doing. I was like,
If I wanted that to happen, I would have called you.
I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit, dude.
I'm like,
It drives me insane.
read the room.
Right?
Like, do I look like I want to be talked to right now? Because I'm pretty sure right before that, the bolt finally came loose and I just went, stupid motherfucker. I'm pretty sure like I was yelling at my bike.
Scott and I have a friend of ours that was telling us a story about door-to-door sales, right? And he was selling security systems in California. And there was, what the fuck was that mass murderer that was on the loose? Who the fuck was it in California? He was a mass murderer and he's going around just fucking murking random people. And it was probably, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago in California.
Oh, Green River Killer.
It might
Yeah,
have been.
maybe something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way,
famous one.
whoever it was, right? The way that the story was
We have,
told
we have
to
a
us,
basic white girl in the audience. I'm sure she knows.
the way that the story was told to us,
They all love murderers.
is he would go commit a crime, right? And then they would go in to all the neighborhoods, including the one that it happened in and the surrounding neighborhoods, and sell security systems out of fear.
Oh,
And it would make fucking bank.
BTK did that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
in
it was. Yeah,
in
that's what
Wichita,
BTK.
yeah, because he worked for
No. This is California.
Oh, because BTK worked for ADT.
No,
He would do that
this
shit.
was California. So they would go in after whatever murders
No,
would
he's not.
happen.
John's not saying the killer would
No.
sell.
Oh no, okay,
Right?
yeah, it was
So-
Green River. Green River Killer.
They're
did
not-
that.
okay.
Yeah.
So they go in and sell all these things. And then he goes, I remember the day that they caught him. And they had a standoff and the cops are on there. And the whole time I'm watching TV and I'm going, no, don't fucking take them. Because I made so much fucking money selling security systems.
That's funny. You reminded me. I'm actually going through and just unsubscribing to shit right now.
Yeah.
I meant to do that because it's getting out of hand, man. Like I end up getting like, I'll set my phone down for an hour, and all of a sudden I'll get like you have emails,
Yeah.
and it's like, you don't just have emails, you have like 65 emails in the last hour. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what I do very much appreciate about our friend group is when you get those emails, every once in a while, I get a text message. And it's, did you fucking sign me up for this?
it's only when I get like, thanks for supporting Beto or fucking something like
bro,
that. I'm
I
like,
haven't
fuck
done
you,
that.
John.
I
Like,
haven't
every
done-
time.
I haven't done that since the last time you and I went back and forth.
Yeah.
And it got out of hand. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
Dude, I was sending the Jehovah's Witnesses your fucking gate code to your neighborhood.
I was sending everything your way. You supported everyone, bro.
Well, the problem is that we both know each other's fucking email addresses.
I know. Everyone.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I think I'm going to call this one, boys. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Hell of a weekend, though. Again, congratulations, Jazz and Caitlin.
Thank you.
It was a great weekend. Really had a good time. Fucking Jews are awesome. I got their back.
It really helps in the game of bags too. We were playing bags every time. Jazz would be like, "Jews are awesome," and I fucking sink it.
Proper motivation.
I would wait till you sunk it, then I would say Jews are awesome.
That's the difference between proactive and reactive.
That's a real world example, right?
Yeah, man.
And on that note,
I'm just going to pop a little bit of this so I can raise my glass and say, cheers, boys. Thanks for being my freedom friend.
That's still
that's
tequila.
tequila.
Oh, you don't want
That's
to mix
not
that.
ice water. That's
you don't want to
tequila.
mix that.
I thought that was a lemon drop. I can't believe you gave me tequila.
Oh, fuck. Like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, do all that thing. Tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friends. This is a stupid podcast. It's me and 3 other fucking assholes just sitting around being retarded.
Playing leapfrog.
Playing leapfrog. Just hanging brain. Check out our sponsors, do all that stuff. 3 little things, boys. They're not hard to do. Not hard at all. Jazz?
Fucking smoke on.
John?
Fucking drink on.
And goddamn it, kids. Freedom to fuck on. Later.
This party's gotta be awesome. The devil's here.
Dude, the fucking devil's at this party.
I need to see if Malice played leapfrog.